Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates for only like $5 a month. Also check out the third wave of the third wave merchandise, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So as you can see, we actually got another low right here, which I think this happened like a couple of hours ago. And yeah, the setup that we have right now, this 1, 2, 3, 4 setup is now a diagonal because the low right here got to the price range of the first wave. Now, it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, obviously it could get even worse. I mean, we could drop to the 0.618 or even the 0.786. I don't even have that on the chart, but if we do get another low, then you should expect Cardano to hit 72 cents, and then we should still get a bounce. And well, I changed the target for the fifth wave yet again. Well, I did not change it, but I adjusted it, according to the low. And right now it's between 91.7 cents and 94.3 cents. And well, obviously the fifth wave up will need to go up in 5 waves, so you can expect the chart to do something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that should complete the fifth wave of the third wave right here. And well, the market is still looking pretty good. I have to mention, on the 4-hour RSI, we actually got above the moving average, which is very, very good. And we're actually doing what I told you that we need to do yesterday. So basically, what we're doing is what we did right here. As you can see, we got above the moving average, and right now we are about to retest it, meaning that if we do test it and if we find support right there, we could do something like we did here, and we could actually get to the fifth wave target, if we do that. Now, if we do drop below the moving average, we could always get another low and maybe actually get to the, trend line on the RSI. We do have a trend line right here, so maybe the price wants to get to it. As you can see, we did not, quite close at the trend line, but I mean, you could theoretically count this as, enough. So we'll see if we actually bounce or not. I mean, right now we are still below the 200-day moving average, so obviously we need to get back above that, and then we still need to get above the B wave high right here, which is at 84.2 cents. Now, don't expect this correction to take, too long. I mean, it has already taken a bit longer than I wanted it to take, but it is what it is, and it's not really the end of the world. I mean, right now we only got to the 50% extension. In the second wave move down, we got to the 618, so we could theoretically do the exact same thing again. However, you have to keep in mind, usually when, the second wave gets to the 618, the fourth wave down only gets to the 382 or the 50%. I mean, it does not usually happen that often that the fourth wave and the second wave move down, both will get to the 0.618. So I'm not gonna, say that it's not gonna happen, but it's definitely, very unlikely in my opinion. Now, if it does happen, it's going to be okay as long as we stay above 72 cents. Now, if we get below, the 0.618 support level, we're also going to be below the bull market support band. And people are getting confused, and they seem to, forget the fact that even if we drop right now, even if we break all support levels, and even if we drop back to 50 cents right here to get some type of triple bottom, which by the way, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but even if we do something like that, we're only going to have a faster cross on the bull market support band. And as you know from the past, I mean, usually when we get a cross on the bull market support band, that's what confirms that the low is in, and that's what confirms that we're about to go up like crazy. So I don't really care what happens, to be honest. And well, you should know this, but I bought Cardano when we were right here at like 28 to 35 cents. I bought in this region, so right now I don't really care. I mean, yes, I am down a bit, but I'm still up like 2.5x, I think. So I don't really care, and honestly, you should not care either. I mean, even if you bought in this region at like $1, obviously it's not good to, FOMO in, and it's not good to buy when the price is going up, but maybe you should take that as a lesson and maybe not do the exact same thing next time. Maybe actually consider buying coins when they are in the support zone, like they were, for example, right here. And well, you could say that's like they are right now, but let's be honest, we are already above the bull market support band, and we're gonna have a cross soon, so do not get your hopes too high for, another low. Now, I am expecting the market to go down in a fourth wave right here after we go to 90 cents. However, don't expect the fourth wave move down to take too long, and don't expect it to be too deep, so please be careful. Now, I also want to talk about the daily chart for a second, just to see what's happening over here, and the daily looks very, very good. I mean, as you can see, it's, an uptrend. I could even put a trend line right here. I'm not really, a fan of this, but I mean, we could do something like this, and theoretically, the price could drop on the trend line, and that's at about 70.5 cents. Now, I also want you to know about the daily chart is that we're below the moving average, so obviously we need to get back above it, and that's exactly what happened over here. As you can see, when we got above it, that's what gave us a pump. And even on the, RSI, we are still in an uptrend right here. It's pretty much the exact same thing as the price. And well, you could say that we got a reaction right here, but we could always get another low, so please be aware of that. And like I said, the chart is looking very healthy. We reacted to the support levels, and well, next let's look at the weekly chart, because why not? So the weekly chart is still above the moving average on the weekly, and I told you this a couple of weeks ago, but at some point I told you that we will need to retest the moving average, and by the looks of it, we are doing that right now, meaning that after we do that, and meaning that after we get to like an RSI of, let's say, 50 on the weekly, that could give us a pump. So maybe we do go lower right now, or maybe we just wait for the moving average to catch up, and then we bounce like we did right here, by the way, in November. As you can see here, we got above the moving average, we retested it, and that gave us this 300% pump. So this is what we're looking for right now. Obviously, I mean, the situation that we're in right now is even better than what we were doing right here. Right here, we were below the bull market support band the entire time. Right now, we are above it. So obviously, there's going to be resistance in this area, but I think once we break above it and once we close above it, it's going to be very, very good. Also, I need to talk about the monthly chart. The monthly chart is looking extremely bullish, in my opinion. I mean, this right here just looks like it's about to blow up. I mean, the next wick is probably going to be something like this, just based on how it looks over here. I mean, we only have a bunch of green candles, and usually when this happens, we get something like this. And I think June is going to be a really good month for Cardano. And I told you this a couple of days ago, but I mean, we don't really need to get the summer drop in the second week of June. I know I've been saying that the second week of June is my target, for a top on the Cardano chart, or at least I'm expecting Cardano to get to the third wave targets by the second week of June. However, if that does not play out, it's not going to be the end of the world, because, well, right now the market looks like it's going to continue going up for the next couple of months, just based on how it looks, and just based on the fact that, I mean, even Bitcoin and even Ethereum and of course even Cardano are about to have a cross on the bull market support band, and the cross is usually extremely bullish. So I mean, I don't really see anything to complain about, to be honest. Even if you look at the 3-month chart on the Cardano chart, which I, never talk about it, but even here we are above the moving average, so things are still looking extremely good, and I think we're gonna have a really good summer, but I still think that during the summer we will have some kind of drop. Even if we do not have it, in June, I still think we're gonna have it in August, because if you look at what happened over here on the Bitcoin chart in the previous, not the previous cycle, but in the 2017 cycle, this right here was the summer drop. This was a 38% move to the downside, which took about 35 days. And well, this started in the second week of July, and as you can see, after that we went up, and then, as you can see right here, this was not August, I'm sorry, I think I made a mistake, this was September, but in September we had a 40% move to the downside, and then we continued going up. So please do not expect Bitcoin to get to all-time highs in a crazy wick like this. Obviously there's gonna be resistance on the way up, but I think once we break the all-time high of $110,000 right now, Bitcoin will do what it always does, and that is to continue breaking the all-time highs. Speaking of that, right here on the RSI, we're pretty much cooling off right now, which is good. And I want to talk about the 4-hour chart for a second, because this is actually extremely bullish and not many people talk about this. So basically, we are above the 200-day moving average, we're above the bull market support band, we are even, above the trend line right here. And if you look at the RSI is actually in a downtrend. However, the price is going sideways, and usually when something like this happens, this is when Bitcoin actually starts going crazy, and this is when it gets to all-time highs. It happened over here. I cannot really look for an example because I'm lazy, but you're gonna have to believe me. It happened over here. The RSI was cooling off quite a lot and the price was barely doing anything. and this is what we're doing right now again. So this is why I think that in the next couple of weeks, Bitcoin will most likely break its previous all-time highs and then get somewhere between $126,000 and even $157,000. And I think once we get in this target region, then we will have the summer drop. I have no idea when the summer drop is going to happen. It doesn't have to, happen exactly in the second week of June, like I said, but I still think it's going to happen. And well, I don't think the summer drop will be as long as what we had right here or what we had right here. I think it's going to be more similar to what we did in 2017. So it's just going to be, maybe 2 or 3 weeks of, just going down, and then we go up again at the end of the year, or even in September, and then in October we go down again, and then at the end of the year we get another cycle high. So that's what usually happens with Bitcoin. It's the exact same pattern every single cycle, and for some reason people want to overcomplicate it. Now, I also want to talk about Bitcoin dominance for a second. So obviously we're getting some type of bounce right now. And well, obviously it's not enough to confirm that the, top is in. And it's also not enough to confirm that, we're not going to keep going down, because this could just be a corrective rally right here. And well, I mean, we only went up about 2%. So I think we actually need to get to the overbought territory right now if we want to start dropping again, because that's what we did over here. We got to the overbought territory, and that was actually, a top. And well, if we do get to the overbought territory, I think that's going to put Bitcoin dominance at about 64%. And well, then we could go lower and then drop below the market support band and the 200-day moving average and the 0.618 support level right here, which was resistance in the past, but it then acted as support. So once we do that, then we could be looking at, lower, percentages on this chart. But until that happens, then the charts are just going to go sideways. And also Ethereum right now is getting rejected by the 200-day moving average. However, just like on the Bitcoin chart, Ethereum is also cooling off quite a lot on the 4-hour RSI, but the price is not really doing anything, and this is extremely bullish because this usually means that it's about to go up again. So please do not get bearish right now, or if you want to get bearish, at least, don't get overly bearish, and don't come into the comment section and start commenting stuff like, oh, we're in a bear market, because we're not in a bear market. I mean, right now, even right here at $75,000, people were calling for a bear market, and I told you it's not a bear market because Bitcoin is just doing what it did over here and what it did over here, and what do you know, we went up after that. So I don't think Bitcoin is anywhere near close to topping, and I think Bitcoin will still hit at least $200,000 by the end of the year. Now, my prediction has always been $250,000, and I'm gonna keep it, but do not get your hopes too high. And honestly, I don't think many of you even have Bitcoin, so it doesn't really matter where Bitcoin goes, to be honest. I think you only care about Cardano and Ethereum and the other altcoins. So, I mean, even if Bitcoin does not get to $250,000 or $200,000, we're still gonna have the altcoin season, just because Bitcoin dominance is gonna start breaking down soon. Even if it's gonna take, another week or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, it's gonna start breaking down. And I think by January of 2026, it's gonna be, near the support levels or even below them, like it was right here. And maybe we'll even touch the trend line. So the altcoin season, in my opinion, it is gonna happen, but you just need to wait a bit longer. And maybe it's gonna start right now, but maybe it's not. I don't know. I mean, you just need some patience. And well, like I told you, even if we get a summer drop right now, it's not gonna be the worst thing in the world, but I don't think the summer drop is going to happen right now. So we still have like a month left to go up, and maybe even more if Bitcoin just, refuses to do what it did in 2017. So the market is holding up quite well. We are respecting support levels, and we're just waiting right now. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates for only like $5 a month. Also, check out the third wave merchandise, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.